The WNBA is absolutely wild right now. Did y'all see what went down in that game between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun? Man, there was a play that left everyone's jaw on the floor and, honestly, worried about the future of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, getting knocked down by Alyssa Thomas in a play that, let's be real, seemed to have a bit more force than necessary.
5 quick points here for Caitlin Clark, and Thomas just runs over Clark.
It's not the first time we've seen something like this season, especially when it comes to Caitlin. Folks, this is serious. We're talking about the player who's revolutionizing the WNBA, drawing huge crowds, and taking the game to a whole new level. What if she gets injured on a play like that? Have you thought about the impact that would have on the league? Let's zoom in on that play. What exactly went down between Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark? The scene unfolds quickly. Clark is moving around the court, trying to shake off her defender, when Thomas comes in to set a screen. So far, so normal, right? But look again. You can tell there's something extra in that contact. Thomas doesn't just block Clark's path. She seems to give that little extra push. Clark goes straight to the floor, and no wonder. The impact was strong enough to leave the rookie pissed, immediately complaining to the refs. Now, let's be honest, screens are part of the game. Physical contact happens. But what we're seeing here goes beyond normal play. There seems to be an intention to intimidate, to show the rookie who's boss in the league. And it's not an isolated case. Since the start of the season, we've seen similar plays against Clark. It's like there's a target on her back, you know? The most concerning part, the reaction, or rather, the lack of reaction, from the league. The WNBA seems to be treating this as business as usual, but it's not. We're talking about the player who's redefining women's basketball. An injury caused by one of these plays wouldn't just be a loss for the Fever, it'd be a huge blow to the entire league. Clark isn't just a player. She's become the face of the WNBA for a new generation of fans. But why is this still happening? What's the real deal behind these more intense plays against Clark? Let's be real here, folks. What we're seeing is more than just hard play. There seems to be some jealousy in these situations. Think about it. Caitlin arrived in the WNBA and turned the game upside down. She's not just playing at an insane level, but she's also bringing unprecedented attention to the league. The arenas are packed, TV ratings are through the roof, and everyone's talking about the WNBA. How do you think some of the veterans are feeling? Many of them spent years, even decades, fighting for recognition, better salaries, more visibility. Suddenly, this rookie comes in and makes it all look easy. I'm not justifying it. Far from it. But you can understand the frustration. Clark is forcing everyone to step up their game. Veterans who are comfortable now need to train harder, play better, reinvent themselves to not get left behind. It's that old story. When you can't win on talent, you try to win on force. These rougher plays seem to be an attempt to intimidate Clark, to show her that the WNBA isn't a cakewalk. But let's be realistic. This is a shot in the foot. Instead of raising their game to match Clark, some players are resorting to tactics that could harm the very league they helped build. And that begs the question, is this resistance to Clark just jealousy? Or is there something more? Maybe a fear that she's changing the league too fast? Or is it just the old guard trying to protect their territory? What do y'all think? Are the veterans right to feel threatened? Or should they embrace the change Clark is bringing? While you think about that, let's talk about something that's driving me crazy. The WNBA's lack of response. Seriously, folks, the league seems to be asleep at the wheel. Since the start of the season, we've seen increasingly aggressive plays, especially against Caitlin. And what's been the WNBA's reaction? Practically zilch. Let's be clear, I'm not asking to turn basketball into ballet. Physical play is part of it, always has been. But there's a line between hard play and dangerous play, and that line's being crossed frequently. The problem is that the WNBA seems to be treating these plays as part of the game, but they're not. When you have plays clearly targeting a specific player, that goes beyond normal competition. And the worst part, the league is running a huge risk here. Imagine if Caitlin gets seriously injured in one of these plays. You have any idea of the damage that would cause? It's not an exaggeration to say that the WNBA would lose a good chunk of the momentum it's gained this season. The question is, why isn't the league acting? Do they not realize the gravity of the situation? Or are they afraid of upsetting the established stars? Look, I get that it's a delicate situation, The league doesn't want to alienate its veterans, who've built the league up to this point, but they also can't afford to risk the health and career of their new star. What the league needs is balance, clearer rules about what's acceptable in terms of physical contact, harsher punishments for dangerous plays, and above all, a clear message that player safety is the #1 priority, because, at the end of the day, it's not just about protecting Caitlin or other rookies, it's about protecting the future of the league. It's about ensuring that the WNBA continues to grow and attract new talent. All of this leads us to the monumental impact Caitlin Clark is having on the league. Let's be honest, she's not just playing well, she's redefining what it means to be a star in this league. Let's look at the facts. Since Clark arrived, the WNBA's numbers have exploded. TV ratings, through the roof, ticket sales, sold out everywhere the Indiana Fever plays. Social media engagement? Don't even get me started. But it's not just that. Clark is elevating the level of play in a way we haven't seen in years. She's not only leading the league in assists, something unheard of for a rookie, but she's also breaking three-point shooting records. And all this while the Fever are winning important games. And you know what's craziest? This is all happening in her first season. Imagine what it'll be like in 2-3 years. Clark isn't just changing the game on the court. She's changing the perception of women's basketball out there. She's attracting a new audience, inspiring a new generation of players. But with all this impact comes a huge responsibility. For Clark, for the other players, and especially for the league. Because now there's no going back. The WNBA needs to rise to this moment. Let's do a bit of imagination exercise here. Close your eyes for a second and think. What would your dream WNBA look like in 5 years? Imagine packed arenas in every city, multi-million-dollar TV contracts, players being recognized on the street as major sports stars, girls across the country dreaming of being the next Caitlin Clark, the next Wilson. Now open your eyes. All of that you imagined. It's within reach. But only if the league makes the right choices now. Caitlin has given us a glimpse of that future. She's shown what's possible when extraordinary talent meets a platform ready to shine. But she's also exposed the cracks in the current system. The question is, what is the WNBA willing to do to turn this vision into reality? The future of the league is in our hands. In the hands of fans who watch the games, who talk about the league on social media, in the hands of players who give their all on the court, and, of course, in the hands of the executives who make the crucial decisions. This is a moment of choice. We can choose change, growth, evolution, or we can cling to the familiar, the comfortable, even if it means falling behind. The clock is ticking and the WNBA needs to act fast. Because, let me be clear here, if the league doesn't take action soon, things could spiral out of control. Just imagine the following scenario. It's the end of the season. The Indiana Fever is in a decisive playoff series. Caitlin Clark is doing what she does best, dominating the game. And then, in a seemingly harmless play, it happens. Clark hits the floor after an unnecessarily hard contact. The arena goes silent. Social media explodes. And suddenly, that magical season, that unique moment the WNBA was experiencing, it all comes crashing down. Sounds like an exaggeration, maybe, but it's a real risk. And the consequences would be catastrophic. Imagine a WNBA without Clark. To me, it would be too sad. Not to mention sponsors backing away, TV contracts losing value, fans, especially the new ones Clark attracted, becoming disillusioned with the league. And it's not just about Clark. What if other promising rookies start thinking twice before entering the WNBA draft? What if we start losing talent to European leagues or other sports out of fear of injuries? Time is running out. Every game that passes without concrete action from the league is a lost opportunity. It's an unnecessary risk. The ball is in the WNBA's court now. Are they going to step up and protect the future of the league? Or are they going to stand still, hoping the problem will solve itself? One thing's for sure, the decisions made in the coming weeks and months will shape the future of women's basketball for years, maybe decades. And all of us will have to live with the consequences. What do y'all think the WNBA should do to protect its stars and secure the future of the league? Do you agree that the situation is getting critical, or do you think I'm exaggerating? Leave your opinions in the comments. I want to see a heated discussion down there. And look, if you enjoyed this content and want to stay up to date on all the analysis and discussions about the WNBA, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any videos, and together we can closely follow this crucial phase of the league. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.